Okay, part 2 of our preparations for Michaelmas. Oh my goodness. Now look at this. Just look at that. It's thickening up just lovely. I'm so excited. So I'm going to actually turn it off at this point and give it another stir. This is going to be so delicious. I really wish y'all could just have some with us. But you know the recipe if you want to make it. You can pretty much do this with any berry, and you just put basically a cup-ish into your pan, cover it with some water, get it to boil, add some sugar, bring it to another boil, then turn it down to a simmer, and then what I do is I just get out my good old masher and mash it up. I am one for liking the seeds and all in my jam, so that works for me. If it doesn't work for you, you can also strain it after you mash it, and then the seeds will stay out of your jam most of the way. You could also line your strainer with some cheesecloth, and oh, coffee, how I sing your praises. Now I am getting ready for the preparations here. So what I've done is I've floured the work surface. I got my nuts ready. I'm going to experiment with some of this raspberry jam, blackberry jam, sorry. And I am going to, let me get my coffee finished up here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to see about making some fiery breath for our dragon bread. Alright, so what I did was I just took a little bit of the jam juice out, just a wee bit. And then I reserved these pieces of dough, and they're just waiting over there because I am going to dip them in the jam. Has it cooled off? Oh, it's cooled off. It's already like solidifying. It's amazing to me. I didn't know blackberries had such good pectin. So what my plan is to basically see if those pieces of dough will absorb the color, basically naturally dyeing these little bits of dough. So as you can see, it is in now a workable state just by adding that half a cup of flour. All right, so I'm just going to place these in here. Now, do know that this is my first time playing with this idea, so let's see how it works. Well, so far, not that impressed. So let's see what's going to happen here. If we incorporate it, will it give it that color? I gotta say, not really. You know? Well, let me know what y'all think, because I would love to get some feedback. So, of course, I would use food dye, but we're in a homeschooling group, and I just don't know how sensitive some of the kids are to dyes. I don't want to stress anyone out on the Michaelmas celebration, basically. All right, so I'm just going to plop these in there. I'm going to set this guy aside on my oil tray. It has some color to it. We'll just see what happens. May or may not work. If it doesn't work, well, we tried and we know. The other thing I might be able to do is it's possible that these pieces could burn with the high sugar content in there. So I think what I'll do is I will make some extra fire pieces for the dragon, and I will just spread the jam on it. That's what I love about this recipe. It's really quite versatile. You can do many things to tweak it and make it your own. For example, I like to put, when we make our dinner rolls, I like to add in, when kneading the bread, I like to add in some garlic granules and some herbs, so you get like a nice garlicky, herby bread. Okay, so now our oven is ready, which basically is telling me to push on. Alright, so I'm going to turn this out. That literally almost all came out of the bowl. So this last little bit. Alright, so at this point you could start kneading it. Remember, I did say though that the more you work this bread, the more it just kind of gets more dense. But it is part of the joy I find of making bread. You get to get your hands in it, get to knead it. That's special. So I'm just pushing pretty much the ball of my hand into the dough. You can see it's a little sticky, but that's okay. That's what soap is for, right? And water. Or I'm sure if it was a little child, they'd probably try and start licking their hands, but that's not what I'm doing. Surprise, surprise. Alright, so I'm finding that I just need a bit of some flour out here just to have more access to if I need it. What I find helpful is putting a bit of flour in my hand, and then I slowly open and close my hand to get a nice little sprinkle going on the work surface here. I also like to add flaxseed, millet, and chia seed into the bread, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going for the original recipe, except we are going to decorate with our almonds for scales and nails. Alright, so I'm going to take again the 3 pieces out that I can turn into flames, and then I am going to grab my bench scraper for cutting up the sections I'm going to need. So when I made this last year, what I did was I intentionally cut sizes out of the big piece of dough to and as I cut them, I thought about what size I wanted each piece of the dragon's body to be. So, starting with the largest piece first, I cut his body size, what I thought. And then he's got the head and tail and 4 legs. Bless me. All right. So now I'm gonna shape it up. And what I'm doing is I'm going to form a ball. So as I form it, I'm basically tucking the bread under. So his belly will be a bit more wrinkly, I guess. But that's okay. And then I'm gonna elongate it. I'm gonna push it in on its sides. And as you can see, I'm just gently giving it some shape here. So elongating. And then I'm making sort of an indentation where his head will be, so that it will line up. And then I'm going to do the same for where I intend to have the legs come in or out. Okay, and then we're going to place this little guy over here. And so he needs to be placed so he's got room on either side for the tail and the head. The tail is actually, I'm going to curve the tail out, so I'm not too worried about that part. And the sheet is oiled so that if I do need to move the bread around, it will be fairly easy to move around. So that's exciting. Here we go. And now we're going to get all artsy with our bread making. So again, I'm going to use my bread scraper and I'm going to cut off another chunk. I'm assuming that this will be a good size for his head. And let's cut it off exactly the shape I was going to make it. All right, well, that took a lot less than I thought it was going to. And then I'm going to poke some eye holes there. That's where I'm going to place my cherries. And then I made a little hole for the fire to come out. All right, I'm going to score this. I don't know that you need to, but you know, when you work with clay, you're supposed to, right? To help it attach. So we're gonna give this a little pinch to close it together to help those bind so that when it bakes, hopefully it all stays together. Now we're going to move on to the legs. So about a piece like this, and then I am going to make his shoulder wider, and then as he comes down to the claw, make that a little bit narrower. And then I'm gonna pinch out like little toes for him because I think that adds to the claw look. And then we'll finish it off with some of these nice little almond slices. And the fun thing about the almond slices is that they will toast up, so they will get like this natural color exchange thing happening. And again, I'm going to pinch this one in so it is happily connected. our dragon. I like Mr. Dragon is his name. Good morning, little bit. Good morning. How are you? Happy Mickey Mouse. Happy Mickey Mouse. Happy Mickey Mouse. I'm making the dragon bread. You came just in time. I'm doing his legs right now. So. Okay. So let's see, he's a three-toed scaly dragon. I'm gonna do his other upper arm. What should we name this little dragon? Could name him I think Guile. His name is Guile. Guile the dragon. So Guile now has another foot. Score this one. Ayana, look. She's been busy. Do you want to say morning to her? I think she's expecting you to say good morning.
Good morning, Dad. That's just it.
Oh. Alright, now for the back legs. I feel like the back legs are going to be bigger because I have to support this big old dragon. And again, I'm going to make the shoulder part or the femur part larger.
Just take a video of you.
Yes, ma'am. I decided to show friends how to make dragon bread for Michaelmas.
Oh, it was a ball way too, and then poof. For me?
For you, yes, if you want to.
Mmm.
Yum.
What is that? Can I have a piece?
You could tell her what it is. I wouldn't give it to her. I don't think her tummy would like it too much.
It's stove bread, Dad. Now there's stove bread.
This one's not for puppies, Daphne.
But if a piece fall, you could eat it. Right?
Only if it's a small piece. Okay, let's see here. So we are
I
going
can
to...
break a small piece from you.
No, it's okay. I'd rather her not have dough.
Huh?
I'd rather her not have dough. So I'm forming the fire now, and when I think of fire, I guess I think of something thinner and wispy-like, which is kind of hard to make with dough, I feel, but it's okay. You want to try this one? It's jam in it. Oh, thank you.
I never saw jam on it, did I?
Jam? No, last year I didn't make it with jam, but that's okay. I'm trying something different this year. And then I don't know if it's gonna work, so I'm gonna make a
Can I have another piece?
just a minute.
Just that steaming piece?
Huh, eat it, it's good.
You want to go on party with us? It's today a school day.
Yes, ma'am. It's our Michaelmas celebration. You're gonna be in the play.
Do you want to go on a party walk, Dad?
Daphne, wanna go potty walk? Diana wants to take you.
Come on, love, party walk.
It's gonna be cold, baby. I take a sweater.
Okay. Mama,
Yes.
look what I found.
Ooh, happy Michaelmas. I made it for you.
What is it?
Well, I thought we could hang it above your fairy home, and maybe some little gnomes might want to live in there, or a mouse.
I love that. I love.
Sweater, baby. All right, now our dragon needs a tail. And his tail is gonna wrap around. Give him a turn so I can show you. All right, and then do an indentation. Oh, sorry to touch your bum. All right.
I'm taking her party on the other side.
Huh?
I'm taking her party on the other side.
Okay, Lovey. Oh, it's shaping up quite nicely. for almonds. So I am gonna start with these ones for the, and I'm making scales is what I'm doing. So I'm trying to find ones that are more whole and not broken, but no worries if they are broken. I mean, we don't know what kind of fights Kyle gets into or heavy ruckus play. He might break his scales every day. And this little guy is going to go in the oven at 400 degrees for 40 to 50 minutes. And I think I'm gonna do a little bit of a oil brushing just to give it a little help so that the nuts don't burn in the oven. Welcome back. What do you think of the scales, Nana?
Oh.
Cool.
Yeah. What are these?
Those are gonna, in case I don't know if these might not work. They might burn. So I just made some extra ones in case I need to switch it out. Those are just, that's my backup.
With no sauce.
With no sauce, right? So,
If it doesn't work with sauce, are you not going to put sauce on it?
I am going to put sauce on it because I'm pretending that's the fire that he's breathing. So I want it to look red. I want it to look like it's more like fire. So, but that's the only part that's going to have sauce on it. And you don't have to eat that part, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I put a piece of big though?
Here you go.
Wow, this is huge.
Uh-huh. After I finish doing the scales on our dragon, cover your mouth, Pizza. Then, if you want, you can help me make some bread rolls. Okay. Okay, so this is tedious, and I don't think you guys want to watch every little step of this. I will show you part 3 of our dragon after it comes in out of the oven.